We're going to send out the replay for anybody that was not able to make it, but I'm super excited to kick off our AI series. I'm going to show you guys some really cool tools on what you can do. So it will be a three-part series. Today, we're going to go over ChatGPT, which I'm sure everybody uses, and then how to build a custom GPT. So that way you can basically, if you've ever heard of somebody talk about like their board of advisors, right? You can literally have a board of advisors for yourself, for your business, for your health, for your social media, marketing, for dealing with clients, for everything. So I'm going to show you that. And then I'm going to show you how to use Gamma, which is freaking amazing, on how to create ebooks or downloadable PDFs and things like that, or even just social media posts. So we're going to go over that today, and then next week it's going to be awesome because we're going to build upon it, and I'm going to show you how to take what we do today and use HeyGen, which is another AI tool where you can literally clone yourself. So I don't know if anybody saw my social media post I did a couple of weeks ago. I was on a cruise, and what I did was when the Fed rate drop came out, I knew it was going to be a big thing. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, create an article about the Fed rate drop and how it does not always mean that interest rates go down and how they're not tied directly, interest rates to the Fed rate, blah, blah, blah. So ChatGPT created this article for me, and then I said, create a video script for me. And I did all of this while I was laying at the pool, by the way. So create a video script for me. I copy and pasted the video script into HeyGen, and I did a video, and it was me talking, although I was sitting at the pool on a cruise, Royal Caribbean. And then I posted that on social media. And the awesome thing was I not only did it in English, but I did it in Japanese. So if don't follow me on TikTok, go to TikTok. You can see the Japanese post about the Fed rate drop. And then I did also created the article with Gamma. So it's super simple and how quick and easy we can do all of this stuff. So this week is GPTs and ChatGPT because that's really where it's all going to start. And then next week is going to be HeyGen and creating your AI clone. So I put in the chat, if you guys can grab that, save it, look at it later. You don't have to look at it right now. But that's basically prompts for you guys to use to create your own custom GPTs. And then also, just some different ideas and a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. So I'm going to pull up my computer with my 5 million tabs that are always open. And we're going to go over to ChatGPT and we're going to go to GPTs. Now, if you do not have, I don't even know what I pay. I don't have the super expensive version. I want to say maybe 20 something dollars a month. I have no idea, but I'm not sure if the GPTs work with the free version. Now, if you create a GPT and you share it with someone, like for example, my son is working with me now, and he has the free ChatGPT version, but I've shared this GPT with him and he's able to use it. So I think if you have the free version, you can share your GPTs with other people and they can use it if they have the free version. But I don't know if you can create a GPT with the free version. So what is a GPT? Basically, you can explore all different GPTs in ChatGPT. So the way I have my ChatGPT is it's kind of organized. So I have my regular chats, right, that I just do. And then I have my project. So if I have a project, for example, I can have all of my different, things that I'm working on within that project. Because if you go to the chats, it just looks kind of a mess, right? The one thing to note about the GPTs is that when you work within the GPT, it will never save any of the information. Where if you do a project, for example, all of the things that you're, talking about, or all of the things that you've had and you can add files and stuff will stay within that project. in the GPT, it will be gone if you get out of it. So what you need to make sure you do is copy and paste it into a Google Doc or a Word doc or whatever, so that you don't lose whatever it is that you worked on. Okay. So what this is basically like, think about if you wanted a business coach. Let's just say Ed Milet, for example. You wanted to be coached by Ed Milet because you think he's amazing. Well, you can create a GPT to basically be your business coach that thinks, acts, and talks like Ed Milet. So if we look at my GPTs that I've created here, and I'm just going to show you, some of them, and I'll also show you the prompts. But my Quantum Leap business coach, if I go in here to edit, we can see exactly what this business coach is about. So it guides people to help them with personal development, mindset work. And then in here, I put like the people that I, look after or watch on YouTube, speaking styles of Ed Milet, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and Kathleen Cameron. The GPT combines business, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of just goes through what I want it to help me with. And then over here, these are the conversation starters. I didn't come up with this, and I'll show you when we create the GPT, it gives you the conversation starters, but you can also add to it. This is also really good if you have, let's just say, virtual assistants working for you or assistants working for you, and they're not really sure like how to do things. You can create these GPTs so that they can then go work within the GPT and it will give them ideas like, what are my top 3 income producing tasks? The next one is I created a mortgage income underwriter. So you can literally upload documents and this GPT will calculate income for you. So it's a senior mortgage underwriter. It assists with income calculations, and it follows Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA guidelines, blah, 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 blah. So this is the mortgage income underwriter not chat GPT, GPT. My husband owns a construction business. So we created a GPT for him. And think about this, right? Let's just say that it doesn't matter what profession you're in. Like there's business owners, everybody, right? So let's just say that you do own a construction company, but you don't have time to do estimates on all of these different bids. You can hire somebody from the Philippines, right? And give them instructions. Here's a bid on a 2,500 square foot single family home. We're redoing the kitchen, blah, 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 blah. Well, this construction GPT knows how to calculate that. So you can put in here what you're looking for it to do, and then bam, it will spit out the bids or the, estimates or whatever. So these are just examples of different GPTs that we've created. And then the mortgage coach analyst, I created one of these the other day because I had a client come to me and they said, Danielle, I'm not sure what I should do. My mortgage is at 3.5%. We just bought a boat for $90,000. That is at 7% on a 10-year, note. And then we just bought a car for $60,000. And that is, I forget what, like 6.5%. We're trying to see, does it make sense for us to do a cash out refinance on a condo? Or should we just stay the way that it is? Or should we get a line of credit? So I created this mortgage coach analyst where I went in, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute how I used this with Gamma, but I went in and plugged in that information, and this mortgage coach analyst gave me an entire refi now or not. And actually the GPT suggested that they don't do anything. And so I created the whole report in with this GPT, put it into Gamma, sent it to the client and said, based on this, we don't think it's necessary for you to refinance. And they were so happy. Would I want the refinance deal? Absolutely. But I don't want to put somebody in a worse situation that, so I told them they shouldn't refinance. They said this report was exactly what we were looking for. Thank you so much. And it probably took me 10 minutes. Think about how much time it would spend if you didn't have all of this to really analyze, how um whether or not they should refinance. And I know a lot of people out there in the mortgage industry pay for mortgage coach, for example. Well, mortgage coach, I don't know how much it is right now. I was using it before, but for me, it was just too complicated. This took me 15 minutes to put the information in here, create the report, throw it into Gamma, and send it to the client. Okay. So if you want to, can somebody, I'm just curious. I'm going to tell you the done by one, but think about what type of GPT you would want. And if someone wants to throw that in the chat, if not, I can create one. But just throw it in the chat of what you would want, like what type of GPT you would want. If no one throws anything in the chat, I'm going to do, the one I was thinking about. So, okay. Is the chat disabled? Please don't tell me I have this problem again because I see somebody in the Q&A. Let me see. No open questions. Only hosts and panelists can see. Hold on. Let me see here. It's disabled. So I got on early, which if you guys know me, I am not an early person. I'm usually always late. So I got on here. Nobody can post in the chat. It says that you can't. So it also says Sonia raised her hand too. So there must not, it's disabled. I don't understand why, because it's on my end, it is saying that it's not disabled. Let me try this. Hold on. Oh, okay. We're getting it together here. Okay, got it. Somebody, yay! Okay. I swear I do not know why I cannot figure this out, right? Um, I told you I'm like the most techie person there is. Okay, so the done by one strategist, this is, like I said, my 16-year-old son just started working with me, and I have him doing reports on businesses for me, basically like business audits, where he creates a business audit and he throws it into this done by one strategist, and it identifies the top bottlenecks that business has, how done by one can help fix them, blah, 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 blah. So he's now creating these types of reports using this GPT and also using Gamma and sending this report to business owners. So if you have people that work for you that might not know necessarily how to do something, think about the mortgage coach analyst, right? You can give that to a virtual assistant. So if that client sent me an email with, all of their information, interest rate, balance, blah, 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 you can literally email that to your virtual assistant and say, hey, throw this in my mortgage coach analyst, create the report, put it in Gamma, send it to me so I can review before we send it out to the client, right? So these are awesome because you can have people working for you that that might not know how to do this, but you can train a monkey to do this. Like you can train anybody to do this. I could train my grandmother to do this, right? So if you guys can put something in the chat, if not, my VAs. So I have been working with VAs since 2012. I have several on Upwork and several just regular VAs. And then there's another online jobs.ph, I believe. But Upwork, Fiverr, and then Crystal, who's with me, emailed me directly. So sometimes you'll get emails from virtual assistants also. But so we're gonna do, if no one wants to, okay, so we're gonna do a social reverse mortgage GPT. Okay, this is great because I know Michelle probably wants the same thing. So let's go to explore and we're going to create a GPT. Now, what do you want reverse mortgage? Let's just call it. Actually, I'm going to go back here I'm going to show you guys how you can also come up with the prompt, right? Can anybody think about, because I'm thinking right now, I don't know a lot about reverse mortgages, and I'm trying to think what we would want this reverse mortgage specialist to do. Like, give me some of the things that we would want them to do. Should they analyze the client's situation to see if they qualify for a reverse mortgage? Would that be something? Let me check my chats here. Yes. Okay. So any questions that you guys think, put it in the chat that a reverse mortgage specialist would want. And where you would get your prompt for your GPT is in good old Chat GPT. So I'm going to say I am creating a, oh my God, a custom GPT for a reverse mortgage specialist or consultant specialist. This consultant analyzes client's situation to see if they qualify for a reverse mortgage. It then creates a report. Can you guys tell me, like, what are some of the things that we would need to know for like a quick pre-qual for a reverse mortgage? A reverse mortgage, like, give me something. So it then creates a report for the client, letting them know if they qualify and the benefits. We can also include pros and cons for them. Okay, let's see what we need. Equity, we need to know their age, equity, birth date, home value if they have a mortgage. Okay, so let's go back here. We, uh, we will enter the clients. Can you guys let me know, is there any famous person that ChatGPT would know, like as a top reverse mortgage specialist or somebody that talks about reverse? We, I'm sure I didn't look at the chat yet, but I have a feeling it's Dave Ramsey. We will enter the client's age, property, address and client's age, property address, birth date, that's age, birth date, whether they have equity. And this report will go to the client. Okay, let me see. Let's check the chat. Dan, okay. Act, act like Dan, a top reverse mortgage. We don't have to spell right because ChatGPT knows. Consultant. Create a prompt for my custom GPT. Okay, here we go. We're going to say you act like Dan. So we're going to go over here to our GPT. We're going to go to create, and it's going to be reverse. More, I'll give this to everybody that wants it too. I'll give you guys a link. Consultant. And we're going to go analyzes client's situation to see if they qualify for a reverse mortgage. Okay, here's the instructions. Act like Dan. I'm gonna come back here so that way, let me see if I need to save. I'm gonna come back here so I can get the rest of it. I might have just needed to save that. Okay, hold on. All right. So your goal, wait, let me get Dan at the top. Birth date and age. course, my mouse is not working. Okay, I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And I think we got to start over. So I'm going to put this here. Reverse mortgage consultant. Analyze client information. We can change all of this to see if they qualify for a reverse mortgage. Can you guys give me some, like, because what we're going to do is we're going to test it. So give me some, let's qualify your client. Is their age, home value? All right. Now for the knowledge base, if we had, where I'm just going to do this quick so that I can then show you guys Gamma and we don't use up the whole time. But if you had specific files, like let's just say you would upload it from your computer, right? So let's just say that you have some sort of Excel calculation spreadsheet, something that you use to analyze this type of data, or maybe some Word documents or whatever. You can upload those files so that it can use those as well. And I'm just gonna include that there. And we're gonna click on create. Now, if we wanted to create a picture, like, a reverse mortgage specialist, we can do that also. So anyone with the link. So this is where you decide, do you want to be the only one that has this? Do you want to add it to this GPT store? Or do you want to give it to anyone with the link? This is a way that you guys can also create more calls to action, right? Going out and telling people, hey, I have this custom GPT, download it. You can create a simple landing page, download it, and they fill out a form. And when they fill out the form, it goes into your CRM, and then your CRM automatically emails them the link to the GPT. We always want to be thinking about how we can get more client information so that we're staying in front of them and staying top of mind. So if you create these GPTs, you can then create a strong call to action. So we're going to review the GPT. Can somebody give me some ideas on, see, some ideas? Let's try to analyze one, right? So let's create a report now for this reverse mortgage specialist, for this reverse mortgage consultant. So I'm going to say I have a client who is 72 years old, lives in Kentucky, has $300,000 of equity. What other things would we need to know of equity in their home? They have a mortgage of 100,000 currently. They are considering a reverse mortgage to age in place and need money for medical. Does this sound right? Expenses. Create a custom, anything else we want it to do or no? Credit score. Okay. What should they have? A 680? Let's go with 680. Uh, they have a 680 credit score. Create a custom report for the client and analyze if they qualify for a reverse mortgage. Okay, let's see what happens. Um, Okay, so based on your age, available equity, the fact that your home is your primary residence, you appear to qualify for a federally insured home equity conversion mortgage, commonly known as reverse. Before, because you have substantial equity, blah, blah, blah. Does this look good for all of you reverse mortgage specialists on here? Tell me how this looks. Does this look good? Um, Anything else we want to include in this client-facing report that we are going to send them. So the potential benefits is eliminate monthly mortgage payment, access cash, no repayment until you move out, must continue to pay property taxes, low, blah, blah, blah. Recommendation could be a strong fit for your goals. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to want it to contact, obviously, one of you guys specifically. And it says, would you like me to include a dollar range estimate for monthly payout elimination? Let's just say, sure. Please add this to the report. Okay. So once this is done, we're gonna just copy and paste this over into Gamma. And I can tell you that I have been using this exact strategy that has helped us. Like I have a refinance that I am closing. I have been trying to get this lady to understand because if you guys don't know Florida, we are super expensive to refinance a home. Like literally her closing costs are like $9,000. Like it's crazy. But so it doesn't always make sense. It's hard to be like, oh yeah, you should, even though you're going from 7.5 to, 5.99. But I had tried, to explain all of the pros. I used this exact strategy that I'm showing you right now, put it in the report, sent it to her, and now we're closing. Okay. So sometimes it's difficult to get our point across, but if you use these things, ChatGPT, your custom GPT, and Gamma to put it together for them and send it to them for them to review. So let's just go with this whole thing. Okay. Recommendation, next steps, blah, blah, blah. Side by side comparison. Do we want a chart or are we pretty much done? Let's just add this. Yes, please add to report. Current, yes, side by side. Side comparison. Okay. All right, we're going to be done after this one because ChatGPT does not stop. Like it will ask me again, well, should we do this or should we do that? And we could like go on forever, but all we're trying to do is win a client, right? So we're going to copy and paste this now into Gamma. Let me make sure my Gamma is up. Okay, so this is my Gamma. Oh my God, you guys, I got to show you what I did before. I was like testing a couple of things before this class. In this DSCR one, I just told Gamma, I didn't even use ChatGPT for this. I just told Gamma to give me 10 social media posts on DSCR loans. And it literally created this ebook, which I'm going to show you. And I embedded this on my website. So, anyways, we're going to look at that in a second. But let's just come over here. And if you are not in mortgage or real estate or whatever, think about your business. You can do this for anything. I don't even see the side-by-side comparison here, but I'm just going to copy. I'm going to go to Gamma. We're going to go to create new. And now these are the different things that you can do. You can paste in a text. You can give it like a 1 or 2 line prompt and it will create the whole thing for you. Or you can import files. So you can literally import, like, let's just say that you're a title agent. And I don't know if Corlin and Kim are on here right now, but let's just say you're in title and you want, you do PowerPoint presentations and you want to make your PowerPoint better. Or you're a real estate agent, you have a listing presentation, you want your listing presentation to look better. You can put your listing presentation or URL in here and say, make me a better listing presentation. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to paste in the text. And this was what I did the last one, which I'm going to show you the DSCR in a minute. but we can either do a document or a presentation. I'm going to do a document. We could also do a web page. But I'm just going to click on document and we're going to summarize, generate from notes, turn rough ideas into bullet points into a beautiful, let's just do that one. Please let me have enough credits. I think I do. Okay, so now we can come over here and pick, like once you start using it, you'll see the ones that you like. I mean, I like pink and purple, so I like that or this one, but since this is a reverse, we don't want to be like, so we'll use this sage and let it just generate. It's probably going to take a minute. While it's doing that, we're going to come back to this, okay? So I'm like a multitasker. Whenever something's doing something, I'm like, I can't just sit around. So I'm going to show you guys what I was just telling you. I came to Gamma and I said, create 10 social media posts for DSCR loans. And it ended up creating something that looked like a presentation, okay? So on my website now, because with Gamma, the awesome thing is that you can take an embed code. You can download it as a PDF. You can take an embed code and put it onto your website. If you guys are on the Done by One CRM, you guys know that you have access to this website. So if you're on Done by One and you're using a different website, we can create this website for you and change the pictures, the logo, all this stuff, right? Because you have more control when you have your own website in the CRM than if you have somebody else. You know what I mean? So the reason why I'm saying this is because if you have control of your website, you can do exactly what I did today. It literally took me 15 minutes. So it did the DSCR thing. So now if you come to my website and you go to DSCR, think about this also, right? Michelle and I were talking yesterday. And Michelle was talking about how to get found on ChatGPT, which I've already had a client tell me that when I asked them how they heard of me, they said ChatGPT. So the more blogs you do, the more things that you put out online, the more you're going to get found. So think about this with a blog. So this is what it created. Within 15 minutes, I threw this on my website with an embed code, which is basically all about DSCR loans. Now, I probably would want it to be like a flip book, and I can show you guys in a second a way that you can make something like this a flip book, because it would look a lot nicer instead of like dragging this down to just flip through it. So this is now here embedded on my website. I'm going to give you guys the code, the embed code, so that if you want to do this reverse and put it on your website, you can. Okay, so let's go back. I gotta find the Gamma. Oh, one more thing with this, right? You can also create an ebook. This could be literally like your ebook. It could be a DSCR ebook. You throw it on a landing page. I'm going to show you guys next week, like the landing page thing. But then you have a call to action. You can do on Facebook, your social media posting. Click the link below to get my free ebook on DSCR loans. You can take that little DM and start sending it to investors in Facebook groups, post in Facebook groups, that are investor related for the DSCR loan. So these are all ways that you guys can generate more business. And if you don't just want to give everybody your free ebook, you need to capture their information. So the way that you do that, which I will show you next week, is by creating a simple form. When they fill out the form, the ebook gets emailed directly to them. Okay. So let's go back here to Gamma and let's look at our presentation. Okay. So this is it. Now, if we wanted to, prime example, my son last night was doing this. So for Done by One, the CRM, he's been helping with the business owner stuff, and it was long. Like, this is kind of long. I don't know who's going to read through this whole thing. Your analytical probably would read through this whole thing, but if you're dealing with an expressive or a driver personality like myself, I'm not reading through this whole thing. Just give me like a one page, pro con, and then I'll decide if it feels right. But anyways, so you can then go back to Gamma and just say make it shorter, which is what we did last night for a couple of different things. So if you want to do that, you can. But guys, think about how extensive this is. People that don't use or know about these AI tools would think that this took you forever, especially someone who's 72 years old, right? They'd be like, how did you do that? You spent all this time on me for like, you don't even know if I'm going to work with you or not, right? So this is how you're going to set yourself apart. This is how you are going to, set yourself apart from every other mortgage consultant out there. If you're in real estate and you're doing this for real estate, top 10 reasons why listings expire. Another example, right? And you're sending this personalized report and you're sending, you can have an expired listing specialist, which I do have a GPT on that. You can upload the past MLS listing and then create a whole report as to why their listing expired and send this to these potential clients. So it is, I don't know what just happened here. The sky is the limit. You just got to think outside of the box. So this is what this report looks like. What do you guys think about it? And then we could also do another one that has nothing to do with the client, that only has to do with reverse mortgages. And then you now have your reverse mortgage ebook for seniors that you send out to them about reverse. And you also can send it to other realtors or loan officers or whatever. So this is basically the immediate benefits. It goes over the long-term security. And this is all based on this particular thing that we put in. Here's the before and after side-by-side comparison. So current situation after the reverse mortgage. Do you guys think this is awesome or what? Is it just me that I get excited about this type of stuff? Okay. Can you share the mortgage income GPT? Yes. Yes. Um, okay, Leah, we got you. We will drop the website in your CRM. So that way you can just customize it. So, okay. So this basically, and guys, with the website, what you can do, I always say guys, I know it's not politically correct, but you all know what I mean, and most of you are women. So you can create an ebook like this for every single page of your website if you wanted to. And then you have that call to action on every page of your website. Click here to download the free ebook. They got to input their information in order to get it, and we'll email it to you, right? And then they have to download or give you their information in order to get it. So this is all awesome. So now what we would do, this is how I have been doing my stuff, right? So now what we would do is we would then go, you have a couple of options here. You can either, let's say that you were going to teach a real estate office about reverse mortgages. You could create this as a PowerPoint presentation, and then you're going to go through. That's another thing you can do with this reverse mortgage consultant. Okay. The second thing you can do, because this is now specifically for a client, so this isn't something that would go onto a website, but you're going to just export it into a PDF. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to drop this in the chat just so that you guys can still see if you guys wanted to download this. And look you can post this directly to LinkedIn. Like this is for a client, so we wouldn't do that. But here now we have this reverse mortgage qualification. So then what I would do is I would go back to my GPT. Remember, you don't want to get out of here, because if I were to click on anything else in here, you're going to lose all of this. So I would just say, create an email to my client, Betty, in which I am sharing this report to show her pros and cons of a reverse mortgage and how this is the best thing for her. Okay, and then I'm just gonna copy and paste this email and put it in my either in my CRM. I will show you guys actually how we're doing the audits so you can see. Actually, no, I'm gonna show you that next week because I'm gonna show you the email campaigns that we're doing because that includes the video. So next week we're doing the Hey Jen videos. Um, let's just make this shorter, make it much shorter because all of this is in the report. Okay. So then you would just copy and paste this. It gives you the subject, copy and paste, add the report, done, right? Now, we're 42 minutes in because I'm doing a lot of talking. I showed you all of this stuff. Do you know how long it would literally take? I swear it will take you 15 minutes. You can even, like I said, have a virtual assistant do this for you. So in the reverse mortgage, GPT or any of the GPTs, you would just go there, like enter the client information, have it create the report, go over to Gamma. Gamma, I'm paying $25 a month. And that is the like not premium, but the upper, tier or whatever. I think I was on a free version. I think there is a free version. So you get like a certain amount free. And then I just today had to pay the 25 a month because I have, a good amount that's in there. But then you just go to Gamma, you get your report, and then you could also export it into a PowerPoint and then send it off to the client, right? So this is so easy and simple, and it looks like you've done a ton of work and spent a ton of time. It looks clean. Like how would we be able to do this without AI? And you just want to kind of go through it and make sure. Actually, let me put this in the chat so you guys can kind of check the work. If there's anything that you would have needed to change, then you could have changed it before. So that way, like if the numbers weren't 100% accurate, but I have now done this several times, putting this in the chat, and all of the time, I didn't have any issues with the numbers or anything like that. So just to give you guys kind of an idea, do you guys have any questions or comments? Um, all of this are the ones. Here's a refinance now versus wait report. This was that mortgage strategy that I did for the refinance. Oh, for the client that was like, this kind of looks futuristic. I don't think I realized Sage before, but this is when I sent this to them. They were like, this is exactly, hold on one second. Somebody's at my door. Hold on. Okay, so this is the strategy between the two. And then at the bottom, it did this whole summary comparison. You can also do things. So the DSCR thing that I did was in Gamma only. I didn't use ChatGPT. It was only Gamma that I used. So here's the summary comparison, and it said, refinancing would double your costs. And they're past clients of mine. They were so happy that I, told them it was not in their best interest to refinance. And didn't come up with the whole thing. Like I had a feeling because it's a condo cash out refi. It's a lot more expensive. Um, and they're at a 3.5, but it did all of this and they were so happy, right? So what GPTs do you guys want me, or what questions do you have? Put it in the chat if there's anything that you want. I think I'm going to go back here and what's Gamma AI? I have to get the door. Hold on one second, guys. It's Gamma. Go to gamma.app. So I'm going to leave this here, gamma.app. Hold on one second. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Of course, my husband orders stuff to come and then and then leaves when he knows I'm doing the webinar. Anyway, okay. So Gamma.app is what you're going to use. And then next week, what we're going to do is go over um, how we're going to take all of this. We're going to use HeyGen for the video, the AI, the clones. And then we're also going to put it together and a landing page so you guys know how to use the landing pages in the CRM with the call to action so that you can start generating more leads. Let me put real quick. So this reverse mortgage consultant, if I go here, I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to put this one. So all you guys need to do is click on it and it will go into your chat GPT. Okay. I'm also gonna do the mortgage coach and then I'll do the mortgage income. Is there anything else that anybody wants? That one is mortgage coach. You could see down here, so you can choose the one and then I'll do the mortgage income. Copy link. Okay. So that's it, guys. We're getting better on our timing. Usually we're like a full hour in. Um, but that is it. If you guys do not have any other questions, start using this, start playing around with it. It's awesome. I'm like just, blown away at how quick and easy we can create these reports, create these things for our clients, create these ebooks or whatever. So if you are in reverse, what I would suggest doing is creating a step-by-step, like something simple. And when you're telling the prompts, not the prompt to create it, but the prompt here, I would say keep it simple. Talk to my client as if they're 5 years old, right? Because sometimes if it's too complicated, they might not, understand it or whatever. So keep it simple, use simple terms, talk to my client like they're 5, like that type of stuff. But I would create these ebooks and put the ebooks on. One other thing I was going to show you, the flip book, but you can put these on your website very easily, and I can show you guys that next week. So before, I don't even have a account anymore with Issue. But I used to use Issue a lot. So when I sold real estate, my listing presentations, let's try this. Let's see if we can do this without signing up. Yes, we can. Let me see if I'm going to do the DSCR one. Okay. So we're uploading this to Issue, ISSUU, and it will create a flip book for you. So when I sold real estate, I had my listing presentation on my website. I would tell my clients before I met with them, I would say, go to my website, review my listing presentation. That's what we're going to cover, when I meet with you Tuesday at 2, whatever. And so it looks like this nice little flip book, which is awesome. So here, do you see where it says embed? See, it says unlimited. So you probably have to pay. I don't know how much. But before, I don't remember exactly what I was paying before. But then you can have this nice flip book with your information right, on your website or wherever. So that's where I used a landing page. If you want to do one landing page specifically for reverse mortgage or one specifically for a DSCR. So if I wanted to embed it, I would need to go with unlimited. But I'm thinking if I publish it, create an account. Oh, okay. I do have an account. I just don't know what it is right now. So I might still be able to do it. I'll have to double check and see. But you can take articles, you can take all different things and use issue now to create these cute little flip books. And there might be another company also, but that's how you can do that. Okay. Is there anything else, anything that you guys want to go over? So this will be a three-part series. So today is part one. We did the custom GPT. Next Thursday at 12 will be part two. That is going to be the Hey Gen and the landing page and the email marketing campaign. And then part three, I'm not sure yet. Like I have so many AI tools that I use. I just want to see, does anybody have any comment on what they want to know like more about? One of them that I've been using a lot is Lovable. But that is to create landing pages, which you might not have any desire to do that. So just think about it. Next week we can talk about, part three of our AI series. But this was part one. I hope you guys got a lot of information here. And yes, Leah, no problem. I hope you guys got a lot of good information and you will get the replay and we will also send out those custom GPTs in the email. So everyone have a great rest of your Thursday, a great week, a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.